Say hello, hopscotch. Say hello. Say hello, everybody. Dory. 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 Say hello. Come here. Say hello, everybody. So, first thing today, I had to get these fed. Get them water. Whoop. Second thing on the list today, gotta get this trailer done. Guy that I got it off of decided to use this trailer to haul logs, and well, you can kind of see there where someone's been up pretty bad. I straightened them a lot. I took a come along and pulled them that way, and then I backed the tractor up on top of it, and I used a 3-point and old farm jack and jacked them up. But as you can see, some of them were bent so bad that when I tried to bend them back, they buckled. You know anything about metal, once you bend it, it's hard to bend it back. It kind of stretches it and deforms it. So I'm gonna take the welder and the plasma cutter. I'm gonna cut these. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna cut them braces and relieve some pressure and try to straighten them out the best I can and kind of pick them up and re-weld them. Now, when you cut a brace like that and you re-weld it, it's never going to be as strong as what it was originally, because around that weld, it'll usually crack. So what I decided to do is go get some more metal. Just like this. And I've already cut them, and I'm gonna put them in there and see how bent that is. When I get done with the plasma cutter, I'm gonna get them straight. Look at this one. But I'm gonna bring these up. Look how crooked that one is. Yeah. So I could probably just cut these out and just use these, but I want the added strength. I mean, why not? I've already got them there. So these down here are pretty much ready to weld in. So I'm gonna weld these in, and then I'll come down here and work on these ones that's bent. That one's bent pretty good, but not real bad, but I can straighten it up. And then the back here, I want to do away with that. I got to bend that in a little bit. I hooked it to a tree, and I come along and bend it this way a little bit, and I bent it too far. So I'm going to bend it back that way. And then we're going to take this angle iron, if I can get it to lift up. And this is going to go on the back for a cap. And then I got these old pieces of pipe that was used for a tow hitch, like tow a vehicle around. And I'm going to cut these off, and I'm going to weld them onto the ramps. Here's the ramps. I'm going to weld them onto here. And instead of having these ramps that you lift off, I'm going to have them where you can lift them up. I got this bar here that it's going to go through the middle of the hinges that I'm making. Here's another one of those. It was old tow bar. But I'm gonna cut them off, and I'm gonna make pieces to go on the ends and in the middle, and then that metal bar is gonna go through them, and I'll make a lift gate, and then I'm gonna drill and put rods to hold the gates up. But let me go ahead and get started on this. I want to get this done. The guy off this and that garage, Chad, he kind of inspired me to get this thing done, so I want to get it done because I need to use it. But look at these fenders this guy welded on here. The guy before me. It's C-channel. Yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere. But anyway, let me get on this and try to get this done, and that way I can use it. Okay. Probably gonna start up here first. I gotta clean where all these wheels have to be. I gotta have to clean this up. If I would have paid more attention, I would have noticed that I didn't have my mic turned up. So sorry y'all can't hear me too good. It's a gazillion feet long. How long there it is. I found this trailer for a really good deal. The guy had it. He was a logger, and he threw logs down in this thing. And when I say he threw them down in there, I mean he didn't baby this thing. He cut it no slack, and the axles were bent like a U. The tops of the tires were bent into the fenders, and the bottoms were out. Somehow or another, it pulled straight, so I had high hopes. But I thought I had to use it, so I went ahead and replaced all them, and I didn't video it, and I wish I would have. And they're ready. I just gotta weld them in. I wish I'd have videoed that, but I didn't. I was busy. Sometimes I get busy and I don't feel like videoing nothing. So let me finish cleaning all these, and then I'll come back and start welding them in. I'll show you welding the first one in, and then I'm gonna go through and weld the rest of them, and I'm not gonna make you watch the whole thing. But I think the most interesting part is gonna be when I start straightening these braces. And y'all kind of see how I do that. And when I put the ramps on, a lot of people don't know how to do the ramps, but I'm gonna show you how I put these ramps on. And to make it real nice, I'm going to lift them on and off this trailer and hurt your back. Now my original thought was to cut these angle iron out, being they was bent so bad, and get C-channel and put in it. But after I checked the prices of the C-channel, cheap wood clamps, because they're a little, I realized how much that was going to cost. I just decided to go ahead and go this route. I'm taking another piece from the end and put on here and get it level. Or I say flush. I want to get it flush right here. It looks pretty good. Let me tack that. Now I'm gonna tack this right here and get it where I want it. And then I'm gonna go through here and kind of clamp this first piece to this one a little bit and weld. Set your welder kind of hot. Because you really want this to penetrate. Pretty loud there. Barely have it. This trailer don't have to be beautiful. It's just gonna haul tractors and old cars and stuff. So, did my helmet just break? Ain't that something? Ain't that something? They don't make nothing like they used to. Now they could take this guy and his truck, and they could make a Chevrolet commercial. And I'm telling you, come out of there. It would probably help them sell, because if you knew how this guy run this truck every day up and down this road, and I think he probably runs it from beginning or end of his driveway to the time he comes back in his driveway, just like his. That's the neighbor. I'm surprised he was that easy on the truck today. Usually runs it pretty hard. I don't know why. I guess it makes him feel good about himself. If I ever get me a hot rod, done. I got a hot rod, they're not done. I'm gonna probably make more noise than that. Everybody complaining about me Get myself situated here. All right. And I don't think I'm gonna weld this completely right here. I will go underneath and weld that together. But this has a little bit of bend in it. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I think I'm trying to pull these in. The other side's gotta come in too. Most of the way down the trailer it's pretty good, but I want to kind of pull these in closer, a little straighter if I can. I might not be able to. If I can do that, then I'll weld them up. But I'm just going to tack these in for right now and see how it goes from there. This piece down here. I think I'm going to go through here and weld that every so many, I don't know if I'll do it every foot. Kind of keep that thing from buckling out. Because in my mind, I'm thinking with a lot of weight, that thing will go separate. I'm not going to put that much weight on it, but I'm just overthinking it. But I think it's the way I'm going to do it. Let me go over the other side and get that one done. What do I got here? So this side, looks like I'm going to bring it up a little bit. Let me get that. That looks pretty good. It looks pretty good right there. I'm going to go ahead and tack that right there. See how that looks. I think I like that the way it is. Tack that. This part don't have to move. This part has to come in. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and weld that bottom up. So let me go ahead and do these other ones and get all these welded in, and then we're gonna go down, we're gonna do this gate. Or not the gate, but the ramps, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do them. But I'll come back once I get all these done. I'll come back and show you that getting them ramps welded on. All right, I got half of them done. Well, I got these 3 done. Drawed them up and welded them. See how much better that looks. Straight. Now I gotta do these, and I'm gonna show you how I did that. See where I cut the one with the plasma cutter? I drawed it up and I tacked it on the bottom. I got the other one away from it, and then I welded that seam. And then once I welded that seam, I grinded the back of it, brought the other one up to it tight, and then I took a C-clamp and drawed it the rest of the way because it'll settle that much. So I drawed it up and then I welded it, fully welded it. These will never be as strong as they were originally once you cut them and re-weld them. So just keep that in mind. If you're going to cut and re-weld these, you got to have another brace to go behind them. I personally do not trust a piece of metal like that after it's been welded back. That's why when people do frames, they fish plate them. Not only because it's straight, I didn't do an angle like a dog leg, but this is the way you should do it. All right. So I got these welded. They're still hot, so I better not put my hand on it. Y'all hear me screaming. Okay, so this piece back here, if you can see it, I cut it right here. I didn't cut this part. I just cut this part because this angle was good. It was this angle that had to be adjusted. So I took the plasma cutter and I cut it, and I took a jack and jacked it up a little bit, and I found that it was actually easier to put a C-clamp on it. So what I'll actually do on this one is I'll cut it right here, and I'll take this C-clamp and I'll draw it up while I take my other clamps and draw it this way, and I'll get it secure, and I'll go down here and I'll tack it where I cut it. I'll tack the bottom without hitting this one, because I got to take this one back off to re-weld this one. And once I get that done, I'll take the clamp off and I'll go through here and I'll check and see where else I need to adjust it. Once I get this one re-welded and I get this one welded in on the ends, I'll bring this together, get it level and square, and I'll run a bead in the middle to hold it. And then I could come over here, and if I got to, and I don't know that I will, it just depends on how bad my gap is right here, I might cut it here and draw it this way and then weld that back. Like I said, I don't want to weld this one because once you weld them, they're not as strong as what they are from the factory. So let me get at it and see if I can get that done. It's the only bad thing is you got to move everything in between these rails. It's kind of pain in the rear end. Will that reach? I don't know. Let's see if it's going to reach. Will you reach? Yes. It will reach. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can go in from this angle and cut it. I got to remember not to touch those welds because them welds are hot. Slide that out of the way because I don't want to cut it. And then all I'm going to do, let's go dead center. I don't know if y'all seen that or not, but it released it a little bit. It actually wanted to go up. So let's see. Got more of a channel in it. Let's see what it'll do. So that actually brought it up a little bit on its own. So that's good if it naturally wants to go up. Knock the center out of it. Now that's right much of a crack in that, I know, but once I draw this up I can weld it up. get these centered, because I think that's going to look pretty good. Grind that off first. I wasn't expecting it to do that, but you never know what it's going to do. And that's what I was talking about, that the metal, once you bend it a certain way, look, I almost got myself. Once you bend it a certain way, it wants to go back to its original shape. So don't go too far. Don't horse around too much, because you don't know what it's going to do. Yeah, I'm not using the best clamps in the world, but they work. Gonna get this in flush. These are old wood clamps, but the reason I like them, because you slide them quick. If it works, it works. Pretty good. I like that. Now, I'm going to take this C-clamp, draw that up. That's pretty good down here, and it's a little further off down here, and I'll adjust that too. And I'm probably going to cut into this one and draw it back. But what we're going to do right now is we're going to tack the bottom of this one. And you got to be careful not to go into the other one. We don't want to weld into the other one. Let me see, I got to turn my welder on. They're kind of cool, but not too cool. It's like 100 degrees out here today, so ain't nothing cool. You almost got to be part squirrel to keep climbing in and out of this thing. All right, so I want to bridge that gap. I don't want to just go welding a bead. I want to bridge it. So I'm going to bring my welder to the side and just bridge that. That should be good. It should hold. We're going to take it loose and see. Like I say, I'm not trying to penetrate real good. It's just trying to hold it. All right. That worked. Okay. Now, that's pretty close. So I'm probably going to go ahead and weld that one now. So I'll take these clamps off. We can get that one out of my way, and then I'll weld that up. I probably wouldn't have to do the back, but I'm going to, just for added strength. And I'll just come in and grind it off. Now that that's done, wait a minute, let that kind of cool. And I'm coming here with my angle grinder and grind this weld off the backside. But I'm gonna give it a few minutes, let that metal relax. Then I'll come back to it. All right, so I took me a quick break. Because it's just hot. I ain't kidding, it's hot as it can be out here. So, took me a quick break. And now I'm gonna grind this part out, the weld off. And as I do that, I'm gonna clamp this piece to it and see where else I gotta cut it. I think I gotta do it here, notch it here, and draw it up. And I'll show that too. So I'll draw that up, get that right. Ain't looking too bad. That don't have to be that pretty, but I do want to get some paint on it, because it will rust. Okay, well that can's not working. So that's a common problem I have with these cans. See, that won't spray. So I seen the guy take an air hose, put it in here and hit it, and he'll charge this can. Like, I'm gonna try it and we're gonna see if it's gonna work. Cause that's definitely aggravating right there. Get this air hose. See if it'll work without changing my face another color. I don't really know how much you put in it, so we're just gonna put a little bit in it. See, that one's not gonna work. Yeah, it did work. Anywho, I'll see if this cover it, and yeah, it worked pretty good. Good enough. It's always something. When you get ready to do something, you got 10 other things that hold you up. Guess that's just life. Let's get these clamped up. It looks like it's pretty flush. So evidently it didn't settle too much. The memory of that metal is gonna cause it to try to go back. It would be hard to do this without C-clamps. I might not have to draw that up. Draw it this way, but I'm going to draw it the other way. Oh wow. So that's pretty flush. So I'm going to take my grinder and clean this off a little bit right here. And I'm going to throw a tack in there. And I think I'll go down through here and try to get this other straight. But I'm going to throw a tack right here. That looks pretty good. Let me turn this welder on. Plug, unplug, plug and unplug. Oh, it's plugged up. So I'm going to take and just weld this right here. It's a little off here. I'm going to go down through here and see if I can get it right. That looks good. So I think what I'll do now, that's an ugly weld. I think what I'll do now is I'm going to come down here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to weld these two ends first. Okay. We're going to try to fix these. This one here is not as bad as down here, so let's try to do this one first. Actually, no. Let's actually do the worst side first. See how much of a gap's right there? I don't need these down here no more, so I can take these loose. So I think what I'm going to do is take both of these. It's just old wood clamp. I like them because they do this. It's quick. And I know they make ones for welding that's like that too, but I ain't spend a whole lot of money if I ain't got to. So, let me show you all this gap. This is another angle of how it looked when I first started. You can see how bent they were. I straightened them up pretty good since this point. And you're getting ready to see that in just a minute. I'm going to show you how straight I got them. I think you'll see it's a pretty big improvement. Alright, so I'm out here, it's day 2. I got too hot yesterday, I had to go back in. Had to cool off, had a few other things I had to do. So I didn't get to finish doing the ramps in the back. So we're gonna make a part 2 out of this, and maybe a part 3, maybe a part 4 or 5, I don't know. But I did get all the rails welded, and I'm gonna take y'all and show y'all what that looks like. Now I just did little welds in the middle there to kind of add strength. Remember how the ones at the bottom were bent so bad? Look at that. It looks good, don't it? Remember how this one had that wave in it? So I took that plasma cutter and I cut and relieved those areas where the metal was stretched and it wouldn't go back together. And when I cut them, it relieved where the crack was that I made. So then I could just pull that thing together and then weld it back together. But you can see now it's straight. And I got, see how straight they are there? So it looks pretty good. Looks like I've done a pretty good job, huh? But we're gonna make another part to this, and I'm gonna weld up the ramps and do a few other things. On the bottoms of these, you want to weld underneath because these rails, they're bad for wanting to cup out. So when you put a lot of weight on it, it'll actually cup at the bottom. I mean, I'm not gonna overload this trailer that much, but it's good to go in and weld a few places underneath. Now you don't want to weld this thing up really solid because a trailer's it's designed, it's got to have some flex. If it can't flex, it'll crack somewhere. So you don't want to weld the whole thing. Like, you probably think it's gonna be stronger, but you don't want to do that. It's got to have some flex. So when you're going down the road and you got the weight on the back of it, it can kind of flex and relax. If not, like I say, it's going to crack something. So that's why you don't build them real rigid. But if you go down here and you weld underneath of here, just do like a spot here where your weight's going to be most of the time. Say like here, maybe there, and there. You don't have to do the whole thing. Just do places. Do, you know, welds that wide, 3 inches or so, 4 inches. And do that through the whole thing, and it'll keep them channels, the angle iron, from kicking out the bottom. See, it'll kick out the bottom because you ain't got no bracing at the bottom. You got your lip at the top, so it can't kick out like this at the top, but it will kick out at the bottom. It'll like pucker. So I just stitched them together so it won't do that. And it don't take no flexibility out of it. It just makes it stronger as far as each one of these individually. Once I put the boards on it, it's not going to go anywhere, but it's nice to have that. You know, later on down the road, if a board would rot or crack or whatever, that's going to be added strength. But I'm going to finish this video up, and then we're going to have another video, and I'm going to show putting the ramps on the bottom. We got to take the plasma cutter and cut this strip here off. Not the whole angle arm, but just this strip. So I'm gonna go here and along these welds, cut the welds out and take this off. And then I'm gonna try to get this bottom piece pushed in. And then we're gonna get this plate, angle iron, welded up against that. And that's what we're gonna weld the gates to, or the ramps. But hey, thank y'all for watching. Like I said last couple times, you know, please subscribe, it helps me out. Please like my channels and share. And I guess that's it, and I'll see you on the next one.